but that's not even what I was asking. I was asking, how do you feel about his view on that, not the actual thing? Is I don't think he fell off or any of that. I was making use about that. I was just asking, like, what do you think about the behavior he's putting in the chat and things he was saying?
Oh, where he's complaining about. Oh, I
he
mean,
kind of got baited into pulling the ripcord, to be honest.
Wait, which ripcord?
The anti-Hasan ripcord. The Hasan ripcord. I kind of made you pull on purpose, but it is what it is.
Well, careful. Hasan said that ripcord doesn't get you any more views, so. I mean, he's probably genuinely frustrated. I mean, right? His viewership is slipping. He doesn't see any way out. There's no way that he can realistically change content because his whole fan base just wants to see perpetual political shit. He probably wants to do like fun IRL shit and be more chill because you've hung out with him in real life, right?
Yeah, but yeah, the thing with IRL is that like it's a thing that like it has to flow. Sometimes it doesn't flow. Even if the idea is good and what you're doing is good, like going to the sanctuary is good. If you don't have a flow and it's not flowing, right? Every small downtime tanks the entirety of the thing, right? That's just how it goes. It's a flow thing, right? And I think his IRLs are good. They're just missing some flow. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, no, I didn't even mean. I'm sorry. When I said you've hung out with him, I didn't even mean like on an IRL stream. I just mean like if you've hung out with him in person.
I got baited now.
No, you're fine. But I mean, like, because I think in person, I think Hasan's like a fun dude to like hang out with, even if you're just like doing whatever. Yeah. But I think they're like people's minds change. Well, I haven't hung out with him in person since before he became a much larger streamer. But I know that like people's brains will change when their eyes are like glued to that viewership number, and it's impossible for them to like relax and chill and have fun in real life if they're like so stressed about smaller viewership doing IRL stuff. And in my opinion, I don't know if you've seen anything different, unless you're a dedicated IRL streamer, IRL streams are always going to be worse for viewership, worse for subscribers, worse for donations, as opposed to just like sitting at your computer and streaming. And they're way higher effort, so that's like mentally exhausting too.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, unless you're okay, this is not. I think it's not. I swear on everything. Unless you're good at it or you're good at captivating some sort of energy, in my opinion, they're very good and very desirable, right? If you succeed at capturing the energy that people want to see, and if it's something that you like showing and you like doing it, then that becomes cohesive, right? And you just kind of win by default, right? But sometimes I think that energy is kind of hard to capture because of outside factors. That's why I don't like having, this is my take, by the way. This is why I don't like having like guards and protection or whatever and do IRL, because every time I'm reminded that this is happening, whatever, and you say, oh shit, I'm streaming and we have to be a certain way, and I feel like I'm at the office or whatever, and it's not as free flow, and my flow gets broken down every time. So I don't. I like just going out there and let's see what happens. Let's have some fun.
I mean, Hasan just visited. I did a thing in Boy in Australia like yesterday, right? Isn't that like a pretty big IRL thing that he's doing right now? Okay.
I think, I see it because that's what he was complaining about the lack of viewership on. But the thing is that like even if you are doing like a cool thing like that, you got to consider what did you cultivate your audience doing, right? And if you cultivated your audience sitting on your computer and looking at news clips or going over political or whatever, people aren't going to tune in to watch you do something for 8 hours where there's like maybe an hour's worth of actually exciting stuff. Like anytime, like xQc said, if there's like any downtime or you're just like chilling and like looking around or you don't know what's going on or you're not like turned on 100% for it, like you're already doing something outside of your wheelhouse. So the viewership's naturally going to be hurt because of that. So now you've got to bring it back up by doing something extremely exciting. You've got to be really personable. You've got to have a lot of fun and be like super in the zone and everything. It's just, I think that's almost impossible for people that aren't like already IRL streamers to do. I just think it's really, really, really hard. I don't know anybody. Like, I'm curious, does Mizkif get more viewers when he's at home or when he does like the IRL, you know?
It's about even, but he does get an equal amount of upside and downside depending on performance, which is usually where you stand in general, right? Because he's pretty witty and he has a flow, right? But I'm telling you, it's not something it's why I agree with your take at 90% and not 400%, is that your viewership can come from anything. IRL is the lobby, right? If you succeed at giving you a good lobby, you're good, right? But you have to be good with flow, and flow like is king on IRL. You have to. Trust me. Like if something is going on, people don't leave, and you do something's going on, they don't leave. It builds. But if a small thing happens, then there's not much that happens, right? All the hype, all the attention is all lost. If you have that consistently throughout the stream, I mean, you're going nowhere with this shit, right? So people can be watching anything. Normally, if you do politics or games, as long as it's captivating and it keeps going, you're good, right? But that's not easy to do. It takes time and skill to develop that.
Yeah, I agree. I'm curious. I'm gonna look this up. I'll make a prediction and maybe I'm wrong. I won't make a prediction, but like, I wonder if he gained a ton of viewership here for the first hour and a half of his stream, and then he thought it would carry over. I wonder if his viewership was the highest at 1 hour and 30 minutes into the stream.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that. I hate that.
Let me check. I'm just curious. I could be completely wrong on this.
It's why I hate viewership. I don't look at it. I don't have it. I don't think it, because it takes away from the flow, right? Because if you look at it, if you do something good and the viewership doesn't represent it, right? Then
depends how you look at it, though. It depends.
Then you kill that, right? Because you might be on something good, but if it takes some time for things to build, and then you get discouraged, and then it gets in your head, don't do that. Just fucking have fun. Do your thing, bro.
Do you think this was on the 25th? Is that this stream? So if it would have started at 11:30, an hour and a half in would be about 1 a.m. Oof. And you see it. That is the peak right here at 1 a.m. I agree with what you're saying, but it looks like what Hasan did at the beginning of this stream is he's trying to build hype for the IRL stream, but he's building the hype doing his traditional content, which is sitting at a desk and like doing like politics and like viewing Twitter and shit like that. So he builds an initial viewership doing this, and then he's hoping that that momentum will carry over to his IRL stuff, but it doesn't. As soon as he hops in the van, he bleeds a ton of viewers initially, over 1,000, maybe 2,000, and then they just kind of like slowly bleeds for the rest of the day until he's, yeah.
I don't think stats ever. I do not do it.
I love looking at stats. I look at them all the time.
You sound way
Really?
too happy about his fall off Destiny. You sound.
Well, yeah, I hate him, of course, and he's like a political enemy.
Wait,
so.
really?
Yeah, but I'm just analyzing the stats right now. I'm not
I'm
not
you don't
loading
hate him,
this.
though, right?
Yeah, I think he's an evil person. Yes.
Jesus.
Really, you actually hate him.
Yeah, he's like a rape apologist terrorist supporter. Yeah, of course. He's an evil, disgusting person. But this is just
Yeah,
like
you
number
can't-
analysis. I'm not like loading
You
this.
can't win a
emotionally. I'm
debate
just
if you
saying it.
hate somebody. You know that.
Okay. One thing I think would help too, and I think this would be the most important thing that Hasan can do. And something that xQc says is like if you can't handle the numbers, you shouldn't look at them, because one thing that streamers aren't capable of doing is they're not capable of having different viewership goals in mind. Like there's just one number and that's the highest they've got, and everything less than that is horrible.
That's brain dead.
It is, and it's so unhealthy, because if you want to branch out and do any other type of content, and I've seen so many streamers, I know YouTubers, I know people that get caught in this loop, is you say, I don't want to do this content for my whole life. I'm going to do something different. So you go out and you do something different, and you don't immediately get the same viewership as your last thing. Then you run back to that last thing, but it's a little bit lower than before, and then you get stuck in a death spiral until now you're like, well, I guess I'm done. I'm retiring.
So
Yeah.
it's why I always tell people about people being battle tested in their career or whatever. And I don't like being analytic, Andy, and tell people like and prescribe them stuff or whatever.
Yeah, they don't listen anyway. So
it's fine. But the way I see it is that's how you're like battle tested, right? Is when you kind of build that thing where things you know what you're doing regardless of like these like a little sign, these polls, and you don't feel any way about them, right? Because you've done it enough times, right? Something that was very good for me, right? Is me and Mox at the time we used to play Overwatch, right? We'd get like fucking 10K, 15K viewers every day, right? We play variety for like fucking 3K viewers, but we did it every single night. It didn't matter what we did. I'm in an Overwatch, right? We wanted to do variety, want to switch. Every day we would invest into variety, 3K viewers, whatever. If we were, and people would say fall off, washed up, and they would fucking make fun of us in the chat. Who the fuck cares? We're building something, and that matter.
True.
And we've seen the depths like of being fucking absolutely washed up in that period of time. Every time, and we kind of build that shell. And at all points, like we know what we want, we know what we're doing, and we know what the process is, and we don't get scared, and we don't. If we get into the water and it's immediately cold, we don't. Oh my god! No, we gotta go back. What the fuck are we doing? You don't have that, and a lot of people that these days that kind of make into streaming, right? They haven't built that, and unfortunately, it crushes them. They get demolished by that.
Yeah, and you just have to
quit.
Yeah, you have to trust yourself a little.
You're on.
And Hasan's got like such a huge head start, and he's a funny dude in real life. He's obviously super attractive. He's got like a ton of friends he can hang out with. He just needs to trust himself a little bit more and like start doing IRL streams and just accept that like, yeah, bro, you might get like 11,000 viewers, but like, bro, it's 11,000 viewers. It's not bad. Like but you have to be willing to build it. But I think the issue is what's going to happen is he's going to do this, and now you've seen him mauled like crazy in his Discord, and then he's going to go back to just doing the old politics streams. And then remember, he just complained, wow, I've built a certain type of audience, but now he's literally audience captured because he's going to go back to doing these politics streams so he can get the viewership that he has before. And then in a month or 2 or 3, he'll try to branch out to IRL again, not get the viewership he wants, and then he'll just death spiral. That's what he's been doing for the past like 2 years, basically. Yeah, he just needs to have like the confidence to like, oh, like I'm just going to like do this shit and I'm going to let it roll for a while and then see if the viewership grows. Like it probably would, but he needs that confidence for it.
I got that.
Just type it in Discord so I can at least.
I don't remember which one I clicked on. Hold on.
Are you serious? You said you were gonna play with me.
Hold
I just
on.
downloaded the game. It took me 3 hours.
The thing you're talking about, but the thing is, I call that resupplying, by the way.
You found out.
Which-
Wait, what?
I call that resupplying. Like it's this little thing where we feel like they have to like dip back into something,
Yeah.
right? To rebuild, to go back, and they keep resupplying, and they get lost into that fucking bullshit fucking cycle. I think it's really stupid, to be honest.
I don't think
But
there's
I
a
don't-
problem
I
if
don't
you like
blame them.
revisit it to like maintain like your core grasp on
Yeah,
viewership.
yes,
but,
true.
yeah, but it can't be the like, oh god, my viewership is sliding. I got to go back and do this. Oh, I got the high viewership number again. It's like an addiction. It's like unhealthy. Yeah, when you get mind like that, yeah. People just need to be able to set different numbers. Like when I was like killing my career with League, like I knew that like, okay, if I stream League, I'm gonna get like 2,000 or 3,000 viewers. That's it, and boom. I'm not gonna like hate myself because I don't get the same viewership playing fucking League as I would doing politics. And then I know if I'm doing like different events, I'll get different viewership, and like that's fine. But if you peg everything to your highest viewership number, it's just so fucking cancerous.
Yeah, I mean, even this again, chat is like, dude, Hasan will pop up when it's the election. But what I'm telling you is that regardless of these numbers and analytics, you can't see things that way because that becomes you're dependent.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I need these world events to happen for me to do good. That's not what you wanted to have. Is like intrinsic value. I can do this. I want this. I can achieve this. That's how you become something. You don't fucking need the world to go a certain way for things to go your way. That makes sense? That's kind of the way I see it. Otherwise, you feel so weak because you feel like you're dependent on everything around you.
Yeah. Are you talking about politics streamers like needing certain political events to happen? Or are you talking
Yeah,
about
yeah, that.
Sure, yeah, that would be bad, yeah.